Unusual activity spotted in western Iran. It was detected by low-orbit European satellites. On the maps, these areas appear quiet, home to nothing more than a few scattered military outposts. But the satellite images tell a different story. Dark silhouettes of deep excavation sites began to emerge along the slopes. These weren't routine construction projects. They were entrances to fortified missile silos, built to house what Tehran classifies as its last resort deterrent. A weapon that was deliberately absent from the 12-day war, not due to lack of readiness, but because it was designed for a different scenario, a scenario Israel considers the worst case and admits in classified assessments it has no defensive system capable of intercepting. Much remains hidden, but today we begin uncovering the details surrounding the movement of Iran's buried monster, Fattah 2. Stay with us. The mystery didn't last long. What began as limited movement in a mountainous zone of western Iran soon became unmistakable to satellite analysts. Thermal imaging revealed the digging wasn't for temporary facilities, but for deep underground missile silos, complete with ventilation systems and permanent power feeds. What was transported inside wasn't logistical equipment or mobile launchers, but a heavy missile body, encased in a thermal shroud. Based on its dimensions and concealment pattern, most intelligence reports pointed to a single conclusion: Fattah 2, the most advanced hypersonic weapon in Iran's arsenal. A missile that was never meant for the 12-day war, because it wasn't designed for that moment. Fattah 2 is considered the second generation in Iran's hypersonic glide vehicle HGV development program. It differs fundamentally from the first version in its launch architecture, guidance profile, and intended role. It measures approximately 13.5 meters in length, and its total launch weight is estimated between 12 to 14 tons. Unlike its predecessors, Fattah 2 isn't meant to be launched from mobile platforms. Instead, it was specifically designed for deployment from underground silos, engineered to provide protection during storage and allow for immediate launch without external preparation. The missile uses a two-stage solid-fuel propulsion system, enabling rapid launch response and eliminating the delays associated with traditional ignition procedures. According to statements from the IRGC, Fattah 2 is capable of reaching speeds up to 15 Mach, exceeding 18,000 kilometers per hour, effectively placing it outside the intercept window of most modern air defense systems. Its operational range is estimated between 1,400 to 1,500 kilometers, placing all of Israeli territory and every major US base in the Gulf and Eastern Mediterranean squarely within its reach. In terms of guidance, the missile employs a high-precision inertial navigation system, INS, supported by satellite signals, GPS and GLONASS. But the decisive component is its high-speed glide vehicle, which acts as a hypersonic re-entry body powered by a spherical motor with thrust vector control, allowing it to perform sharp maneuvers and alter its flight path and angle during the terminal phase, making interception far more difficult. The officially declared warhead is a conventional high-explosive type, weighing between 500 and 750 kilograms, though some Western sources have suggested the existence of prototype variants featuring bunker-busting, electromagnetic, or high-pressure thermobaric payloads, none of which have been confirmed. Unverified estimates place the missile's circular error, probable CEP, at under 10 meters, an exceptional level of accuracy for a hypersonic system operating at this range. As for penetration capability, the missile's exterior features stealth-enhancing angles and contours, and Iranian media reports have claimed that radar-absorbing composite materials were used in the glide vehicle's surface. It is believed to be equipped with thermal decoys and passive jamming countermeasures, which activate during atmospheric re-entry to evade radar and heat-seeking interceptors. Analysis of satellite imagery around the silo sites indicates that the missile was deployed for fixed launch readiness, giving it survivability in case above-ground infrastructure is destroyed, and making it an ideal candidate for a second strike or buried response scenario, without requiring any visible logistical movement or pre-launch exposure. Looking back at the 12-day war, Israel's deterrence doctrine has traditionally relied on a combination of preemptive strike capability and layered missile defense, including the Iron Dome, David's Sling, Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 systems. But Fattah 2, with its Mach 15 speed and terminal maneuverability, exceeds the interception capacity of these systems, not because of their weakness, but because they were designed to target predictable ballistic trajectories. The glide vehicle in Fattah 2 doesn't follow a conventional arc. Instead, it descends gradually at hypersonic speed, altering its speed, vector, and altitude mid-attack. According to analyses published by the Fisher Institute for Air and Space Strategic Studies in Tel Aviv, this behavior makes interception nearly impossible within the current defensive timeframes. What's most dangerous about this missile isn't just its ability to hit targets, but the fact that it strips Israeli command of any realistic pre-launch options. It launches from underground silos invisible to thermal imaging and emits no detectable electronic signals before ignition. That means Israel, despite its aerial intelligence superiority, cannot strike the platform before launch, nor can it neutralize the glide vehicle once airborne. Security think tanks in Israel agree. The real threat isn't in how many Fattah 2 missiles Iran has, but in the loss of control over timing. As long as Fattah 2 remains buried in hardened sites and launch-ready at all times, any Israeli attack on an Iranian facility could immediately be met with a weapon that cannot be intercepted and offers no window for retaliation. Despite all the technological hype surrounding Fattah 2, the missile has yet to be demonstrated in a full public launch from a fixed underground silo. No verified footage exists of its glide vehicle in real-time flight, which leaves key questions: its accuracy, navigational stability, and terminal performance, entirely theoretical. Additionally, the high production cost and complex engineering pose a logistical burden for Tehran. A missile of this caliber cannot be mass-produced or deployed widely, which limits its role to strategic missions targeting high-value assets in Tel Aviv, rather than use in standard saturation or area denial strikes. And now the question to you, dear viewer. Do you think the next war between Iran and Israel will mark the first real use of the Fattah 2 missile? Tell us what you think in the comments.